What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Takeover with your girl Shane Cray. And as I told y'all earlier, you already know State Representative Brandon McGee is in the building. And he's inside the room, and we got quite a bit of things to cover today. How are you, boo?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Another week. We had a phenomenal weekend compared to last weekend. It was a little rainy out, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
How
you
about you?
good? Yeah, I'm good too. The weather is finally breaking, as you can see, and it is hot all over. I will say that there's been quite a bit of rain everywhere, but we needed that.
Yeah, just a little bit because I know let me tell you something. My allergies, I don't know about you, but we needed to wash some of the pollen away. But
I was just gonna say that. Yep,
I'm good. I'm
exactly.
good. But as always, I want to thank everybody that tune in on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for joining Inside the Room with myself, State Representative Brandon McGee, where we discuss politics, leadership, and culture, and of course, just a little bit of gossip.
I got
You
some.
know
I
how
got
we.
some for you too. To
Oh, you
later on
do?
today. Yeah. I got some later.
But as always, y'all, please follow me on all major platforms: Spotify, Instagram _BLMJ _Twitter, at Rep B McGee. That's MCGEE. Somebody inboxed me and said, "Do you spell your name with an H?" I'm like, dude, it says it on my platform, but it's all good. It's all good. We're here to educate. But today, inside the room, I'd love for us to talk a little bit about Juneteenth. I
Yes.
know a lot of us understand the importance of Juneteenth and the commemoration and significance of the date, but I really want us to talk a little bit about that. But before we jump in, I do want to get back to sharing quotes, okay? And I have a quote for today, Shay, and I hope some of the people listening would really appreciate as we sort of go into the commemoration of Juneteenth. I want them to reflect on this quote. And this quote is from Frederick Douglass. And it says, and I quote, "What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer,
Mm,
a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is constant victim." And that was by
mm,
Frederick Douglass. So
mm,
again, we're gonna unpack, the first celebration of Juneteenth that took place in 1866. And since
mm.
then, the holiday has grown to signify more than the end of slavery. Oftentimes, we talk about Juneteenth, and it's just the celebration of ending of slavery. So while the holiday is memorialized, Black people's emancipation from American chattel slavery is and has always been the epitomis or sort of the crux to influence systemic transformation and to improve the livelihood of all Black people, especially those of the diaspora. So, again, as always, join me in gathering people from all walks of life to step inside this room that we come back to every single week in efforts to gain perspective on how we can educate and uplift our communities. So, Shay, tell me a little
Yes.
bit. Tell me a little bit about your
Well,
thoughts on Frederick Douglass.
well, I will say this. Thank you so much for that information because a lot of times we as a people, we celebrate and we don't know what the heck we celebrate. You know what I mean? We just are
Mm-hmm.
following suit to what it is, the trend and so forth. However, still knowing that is a good thing. However, I want my 40 acres and a mule. What you think?
I do too, actually. So while people are talking about give me money, I'll take the check, but give me my
Yes.
land. Give me my land.
Tell me about it,
Because
So,
that's generational wealth that we've been
yep,
talking about.
yep.
So
And
yeah,
that's
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yes. So are you doing any events or anything to celebrate the holiday?
I am actually. So there are several events happening here in the state of Connecticut, and I'm sure throughout the country. There will be a flag raising at the Connecticut state capitol, where
Awesome.
black leaders and others alongside the governor will come and will commemorate, but we'll also, and I think this is important, we'll also reflect the legislative session and how we've been able to, as a state legislature, move the needle, the equity needle, toward much progress, and that
Yes.
many of our policies addressed, and we talked about it last week, declaring racism as a public health, wage gap for females, talking about the Crown Act. You and I talked about that many radio interviews ago, where we talked about the importance of allowing Black and brown people to wear their hair any way they want and not be subjected to mistreatment on the job. And when you think about celebrating Juneteenth, to me, those are all critical moments that we should be celebrating as a people, but also move the conversation a little bit forward with respect to the evolution of Black people in all sectors: radio, politics, education, you name it. So if the pandemic has not shown us anything, then I don't know where folks been. I don't know.
You talking about the exposdemic? It's the expodemic because it exposed a lot of stuff.
Oh, I like that. Wait, say that again. The expodemic.
The exposdemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah, it did. It exposed a lot of things, and one of them being the racism. And it's so sad that we are still in these times. But we're going to take a quick break and pay some bills. And when we come back, we're going to still talk about Juneteenth and what it means to FUBU Radio as well, for us, by us. And we're going to talk about Father's Day too, all right? You guys keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. It's your girl, Shay McCray. Welcome back to the Takeover with your girl, Shay McCray, as we are inside the room with State Representative Brandon McGee. And I almost had him do that opening because I remember last week he messed up. We put him on the spot there. You know what I'm saying? So when we come back, we're going to tell him to just open up. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, now you've given me enough time. So now I can, get myself situated and ready for the drop. So.
If y'all could see his look, he did it as so high. He was like a pretty boy, like, I got this. If y'all can see his face right now.
Look, I did the light skin eyes. You know what I'm saying? You got to squint them a little bit.
Now, let me ask you, was that prejudice, that statement you just made?
Oh, Lord, yes, it was my own bias. But for the culture, you already know them light-skinned brothers, they do that. So I don't care what y'all say.
It's all out of love, you guys. It's all out of love. So we love them light brights. Now let me quit. Nah, but Brandon, I love the fact that you brought so much information in reference to Juneteenth, the holiday, and how everyone's starting to celebrate a lot more. It's so shocking that we are only 156 years out of this. I mean, we were just a century shy of being slaves ourselves. You hear what I'm saying?
I do.
That is interesting. I thank God that I was born in this era, because I probably wouldn't have made it back in that era. And
Shay. I don't know. You remind me, and I didn't know who this lady was. I just read about her, but the characteristics are very similar in that you want to help everybody. You want to bring everybody through. And I can only think of Harriet Tubman, on how she was just like, she was an entrepreneur, she was about her business, and she had money, but people really thought she was just like this little poor thing. She built a house from ground up so that she could provide shelter for people. Like, I don't know, Shay, you probably could have made it. I don't know.
That part, if anything, that's exactly what I would have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been an escaped slave myself, because I'm like, why did no one make it to the North? I just didn't understand that. Out of all that time, I would have made it.
You may have been freed though. You real light, and you got that.
You know
what?
That I thought about it. I was like, I already know I would have been a house nigga. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say that, y'all. Yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I would have been a house nigga.
Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And those are thoughts. Those thoughts are not attributed to FUBU Radio. Those thoughts are attributed to Shay McCray.
Yes, please. We'll get that out of there in a minute. But listen, I will say this. I am excited that I read that they're finally acknowledging Juneteenth as a paid holiday, and some schools are even readjusting their schedule to acknowledge it as, for them to be out of the school as well. That's what's up.
That's
Let's
true.
talk about that.
This is true. And remember, just for those who are joining us, we're talking about Juneteenth, the Black Independence Day. Just if you wanted to wrap all of this up, Juneteenth asks us to consider the promises of freedom that have not yet been fulfilled in the United States. Real simple, okay? But just to respond to what you were saying, Shay, only 47 states in the District of Columbia recognize Juneteenth as a state or ceremonial holiday. The only 3 states that do not recognize the holiday are North Dakota, South Dakota. Let me say that again. North and South Dakota and Hawaii. Texas, listen to this, was the first state to recognize the holiday in 1980.
Wow, right. That's amazing.
All right, Texas. But here's something that I didn't know, y'all. And I think this is really, really cool and something that we should always keep close to the chest. In 1968, then Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. planned a Juneteenth celebration to address poverty and freedom among Black and Brown people, which ultimately initiated the Poor People's March in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, which was a demonstration about economic justice. And so, again, those are the significance, or is the significance of Juneteenth and what we're supposed to be doing. So sure, celebrate the past and how we've been able to make it through and get over. But now we're talking about the promises of freedom that we have not yet experienced or fulfilled. And I never knew that about Martin Luther King.
Wow, me neither.
Isn't that, it's amazing when you begin to unpack the history and the importance of it. Mm-hmm.
With that being said, when did Tennessee actually acknowledge Juneteenth being a holiday?
That's a great question. And I want to say, and I'll do my research and get back to our listeners on this. I want to say it was during the time the 47 states in the District of Columbia recognized Juneteenth.
Okay.
And I don't know what the time period could have been. It could vary. But I'll definitely get that. Another piece is Juneteenth recognition efforts in New York City, which I think is kind of cool. Last year, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo issued an executive order that basically made June 19th a paid holiday for state employees. And that started this year. So I'm hoping places like Atlanta and other places, Connecticut, will jump on board.
Chicago's on board. I just read that.
Oh, yes. You did say that.
Yes.
Yep.
What other states did you read that was on board?
So I only had 3. So I know Chicago, New York, and then there was a third one. It could be the District of Columbia, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know in 2003, here in my own General Assembly, we approved a bill that was signed into law designating the Saturday closest to June 19th of each year as June 19th Independence Day. But for me and my colleagues, that's not enough. We want to be like places like New York, and we have control over state employees, and we want to make it a paid holiday with purpose, okay? Now, because we can talk about the Martin Luther King days we take off and folks are not getting it back, but I'm gonna leave y'all alone, as they say in the church. I'm gonna skip over your pew. But what I'm saying is we have to be able to really, really take advantage of these types of holidays and pay homage to folks like King and others who fought really hard to keep hope alive, as Jesse Jackson coined during his presidential campaigns. And so really quickly before we close, because I know we got to go to a break, here's how you can observe Juneteenth. You can spend, obviously, time with your friends and family, honoring Juneteenth, our official Black Independence Day, or you can just Google Juneteenth events in my area, and I promise you there will be a list of events that you can go to and participate. But be sure to celebrate. And think about how you can give back to better, or rather advance, the causes of Black and Brown people.
I'm actually going to like an Afrocentric type of event in DC this weekend with my son, and as well as celebrating Father's Day with him too. So
Oh,
we'll be out
look
there.
at
Yes.
you.
So we already we'll be attending the event on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of performance and stuff. So it'll be great. But before we go, I did want to have this question. We're going to talk. I want you to think about this and then answer it when we come back. You talked about our very own Independence Day. You know how African Americans celebrate Memorial Day, July 4th, as well as Labor Day. Do you believe that any Caucasians will celebrate Juneteenth? And hold that thought. We'll be right back. You guys keep it locked. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to The Takeover with your girl, Shay McCray. And if you just now tuning in, y'all already know it's Monday and we are inside the room with State Representative Brandon McGee. And he's given us so much information today. And if you guys have not tuned in or told a friend about to tune in right now, you're being selfish, seriously, because y'all know this is some good information for real. Because a lot of times we celebrate or do things just in unison, just because we feel like, hey, they're doing it, we're like, that's what it is. No, it's not like that. You need to be educated and understand what it is that you're doing. So before we actually went to break, I asked the question: African Americans celebrate the other holidays such as July 4th, Memorial Day, as well as Labor Day. Do you believe the Caucasians will also join us with celebrating Juneteenth?
And as we were going on the break, y'all, I wish y'all could see me like, oh, she asked that question. But it's a good question. And one of the things that I want to just preference, my comments on is social conditioning is very, very important. And social conditioning is basically, it includes not only features of individuals and households, but it's sort of the acclimating to what's happening right in front of you. And oftentimes as Black and Brown people, we're sort of pitted into having to sort of acquiesce to social conditioning. And it's something that it's sort of a deep intellectual conversation, and I can't do it any justice during a 7-minute segment. But I think it's important for us to understand that. But to answer Shay's question directly, I think, and I'm going to give you 2 schools of thought, okay? I believe that there will be more white folk and folk who are not, or who do not identify as Black or Brown, will be more inclined to support this year all of these types of Black events, right? And here's why. We have literally just come off a year of chanting Black Lives Matter, a year of holding corporations and our nonprofits and people with deep pockets, a lot of money, holding them accountable. And a lot of them have come to the forefront and said, look, I really want to be a part of this, but I do not know where to start. And I need you to help me understand this.
They can't go to their own kind and ask the question because they don't know.
Because they don't know. Okay. So just a little plug there. Any of you of my white allies that are listening to our show, this show is called The Takeover. You also have Brandon McGee inside the room, and we will take any donations that you all wish to give to us to help build this show so that we can spread the message around all of what we've been talking about. All right, moving on. So the other school of thought is you're going to have a bunch of white folk who will probably cringe when they hear about a Juneteenth that's being they will. That's going to be on primetime TV, or it's flooding your Instagram and your social media. And if you have a moment, just take a look at all of the ads that Gap and H&M and all of these corporations are adopting these diversity mission statements and the importance of it. So I just think there will be a lot of support, but it is our job as Black and Brown people. Don't wait around for people to celebrate you or to support you. Keep it moving. I know that's right. And educate people on the importance of it. Just like many of us have been sort of conditioned into thinking we have to celebrate 4th of July. We have to
Absolutely.
celebrate Memorial Day or Labor Day. That's not true. And
That's
nothing
not
against any
true.
of our veterans. Your son is
Mm-mm.
is in the
Yes,
army.
yes,
He served this country, my
yes.
grandfather and others. So for me, it's not a bash on them. It's just
No, not at all.
my reality. And that's where I am on this. And I'm going to continue to celebrate, teach my kids the importance of holidays like Martin Luther King, Black History, 365 days of the year, not just February, and Juneteenth and others. So that's a great question. And I'm sure folks will inbox me and tell me, Brandon, you probably shouldn't have said that, but that's just my truth. And that's just where I am. Yeah.
I understand. And I think that it's funny that you say that. Isn't, like you said, we're not bashing the other holidays. We're just trying to carry on or cross over that unity like we did with the other holidays as well.
That's right.
Because
that's right.
Everyone from all cultures celebrate all those holidays. And, you know, a lot of times they don't even know what it's about, you know, especially July 4th. That is the biggest understood holiday of, I think, of all the holidays. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, all these Black folks out here celebrating, having cookouts. I said, do y'all understand what this is?
Yes, it is. So once again, just continue to get information, help spread the word, and like you said, donate so we can spread this word, the word. So this, y'all need this information. Right. Brandon is doing an amazing job and informing us on everything that is especially with the exact definition of why or what it is. With that being said, I also want to give you your flowers now as well, because not only do you do this well, and I always joke and say you're out there saving the world, but you are also a father, an amazing father, a very involved father. So first I want to say congratulations, and I thank you for just being one of those fathers that are not absent and continue to help mold the next generation so we can continue to be great. So all the fathers out there, thank you as well. Happy Father's Day. And
happy Father's Day. Yeah.
What are you doing on top of that for this weekend? How are you celebrating?
So since the birth of my two girls, and by the way, today is Silver Kennedy, and she'll tell you it's not the color, it's Sylver. Silver Kennedy. Yes. Her birthday is today. She turned 4. So today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Silver. And my youngest Bailey just turned 2 a few weeks ago. So this weekend is a birthday party for Silver.
Wait. So you got 2 Geminis?
Yeah. Well, wait. Goodness. So May 18th is what?
Oh, she's a Taurus. Okay, you got Taurus and a Gemini. Okay.
I'm still in trouble. Right. I'm still in trouble.
You still in trouble? Yeah, because you got a bull and you got some twins over there that don't know. You know, you don't know who you're gonna get on any given day.
Yes.
So so.
So we'll be celebrating Silver this weekend on Father's Day, and that's an amazing gift. And that's enough for me.
With that being said, I'm going to tell you your real answer. Look, I'm telling the people your real answer. I'm like, Brandon, I called Brandon. I'm like, Brandon, what you doing for Father's Day? That's Father's Day. He was like, nothing. They don't do anything for us anyway. They don't do anything. What are they going to do? Cook out?
Let me tell you something.
Wait. I'm going to help you out, though. I'm going to help you out. With that being said, come on, ladies. We got to do better for our Black kings. That's all I'm saying. We have to celebrate them a lot more because perception is based on the perceiver at any given time. So that's the way he perceives it. So we have to do better.
I appreciate that. However, you can go to any restaurant. You can ride a boat through it. Okay? Mother's Day, you can't get any reservations, no cards on the shelves. You can't get a teddy bear, even if you're a last minute guy, like nothing. And when it comes to fathers, we've got to do better, y'all. We've got to do better. So again, happy Father's Day to all of my fathers out there. Shay, do you have a special Father's Day story that you want to share, or some sort of a memory, or I don't know, something about your father?
Well, I will tell you this. My father was a great man. He was very, very strong. And he was definitely someone who taught me how a household should run. He provided, he structured, and he let us know how it should be. He always taught me when I had my children, never make a man pay for his child. They'll do more than what's willing, versus if you take them under and make them, it's like a stress thing. So he taught me how to deal with men from a different perspective. And I thank him because, you know, you hear that saying is daddy problems. I don't have no daddy problems. I'm gonna tell you that now. I got mama problems. No, I'm just kidding. But with that being said, is that in defense of the women, I know I said we got to do better. I'm saying do better to the fathers that are there present.
That's right.
There are a lot more mothers present than fathers. So in the defense of why there are a lot more availability to the cards and the flowers and the gifts and open more seating in restaurants, because the fathers are more absent than the mother.
True.
So that's why I commend you and give you your flowers, because you are not an absent father. You're breaking the trend. Especially it's getting worse as the generation move on, because people are not having babies out of love anymore. They're having babies out of, I'm 45 and I don't have a child. Could you please father this child? And then becomes a problem because there is no child, no father in the household, and so forth. So that's a whole nother topic for another day. We can get into that. So I would just want to, I know I said this, but still, in their defense, this is why. I just happen to be blessed, and my dad was in my life completely until he left us. So. And that's one of the things I do remember. Now, I'll tell you a funny story though. I did sleep with my dad until I was 16. I know. It's like because I took care of my little brother, and he worked second shift. My stepmom worked third shift. So I used to be in the bed with my little brother. My dad used to be like, I'm not getting her out of here. We all gonna sleep in this king size bed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Shay, you were a daddy's girl.
For real, right?
Oh my God.
Until I was 16. I tell the story all the time. I slept with my daddy until I was 16.
You were a daddy's
It sounds
girl.
Weird, but it's really,
no, it don't.
It was more nurturing.
Silver is still in our bed. So for me, my father was an amazing man, Brandon Sr., and married to my mother 30 plus years until he passed. And it was, I have so many stories, but one thing that I could appreciate even to this day is the love my father had for all of his children. And there are 6 of us. I think, let me see, Toya, Menashe, Brandon, and I think there's also 5 of us.
Why is it 2 of y'all named Brandon? Okay, we'll leave that alone.
My dad wanted to be George Foreman or something. I don't know. So, and then, anyway, so one thing that I really enjoyed about my dad was his love for his family. Wherever he was, he just made sure we were provided for, and love and respect to my mother and for my mother. The other piece, though, is my father understood the importance of a village, and he didn't give up his responsibilities, but he understood the importance of other positive men in my life. So, not only do I have my biological father, I also have my godfather, who, happy Father's Day, Marshall B. Muntz, and June Archer, who's like a father, but really like my big brother, and my father-in-love, I'll say, Gerald Silver, who have really taught me the importance of being a man, and not only just being a man, but a man who can show his feelings, can cry, but make sure at the end of the day you have a solid prayer life and you're loving your girls, including your wife. So happy Father's Day to all of those guys.
Yes, happy Father's Day.
Really
to the fathers who do not have a biological child that stepped up to take care of those who are in need. So we appreciate you too. And once again, ladies, do better. Celebrate men this weekend. Celebrate.
One other thing though, unrelated to Father's Day, I think it's important for FUBU that I know we're doing it across all of our different shows that we have, but it's Black Music Month. All right, so
Oh, yes, that's right.
I hope folks are rocking all of the music. I am a '90s baby. Well, really, I like '70s music, but '70s and '90s. I wasn't really hip on the '80s.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but just y'all go back and listen, and really pay respect to all of the OGs and all of those folks who paved the way for folks that are playing music now.
Yes. Well, before we get up out of here, Brandon, I do got to drop some of the gossip. You know, I always got to get some gossip and stuff.
Oh, give me some.
So we're gonna celebrate him too. Floyd Mayweather. Apparently, he had his house broken into here in Vegas, right? And he's offering a reward of $100,000 of anybody who have any information in reference to it.
You meant 1.2 million?
Exactly. That's how I feel. Because I'm like, bro, first of all, happy Father's Day. Okay, we see your children. And his daughter, Yaya, was one of the ones who was very supportive. I saw her on stage too. I think a couple of his kids were there during the fight. But he had a fight where he just had to show up and hug a little bit. He made, 34 million? He actually made more money than he do fighting. Who would that? It was an expeditious fight, right?
Expedition. Yeah.
Expedition, yeah. And he made more money on that than he ever did doing a real fight. And Floyd, that's not enough money for people to come up and say, you just made 34 million, you only offering 100,000. Your stuff, whatever was taken, was not that important. I'm gonna say that now.
I'm just glad everybody's safe. But to your point, you didn't say this, but I'm saying this. I think it's got to be somebody inside. I don't know.
Has to be.
And then 100,000. Did they kill the person already? I'm trying to understand.
I don't know, Floyd. I don't think no one's stepping up because I'm pretty sure whatever they took is worth more 100,000 in that house. I'm pretty sure. So, like I said, either the break-in, I don't know what was taken. I have to do a little bit more research, but I don't know. And listen, happy Father's Day to you, Floyd. Happy Father's Day to Keith and Demetrius as well. And
all the FUBU staff.
Yes, all the FUBU staff. Her DJ Hercules, Just, Sig Child, our producer, all the fathers here on FUBU Radio. So, but I appreciate you for taking a break from saving the world, especially this week, especially today during your princess' birthday. And I hope y'all celebrate hard. Y'all get Kool-Aid wasted over there.
Well, we already started off with candy this morning, so we got a cake and we're going to go out to a restaurant and enjoy. Oh yeah, we're going to enjoy it. But before y'all leave, y'all make sure y'all follow me. Follow me on YouTube. Just type in Inside the Room. Again, I'm on Instagram _BLMJ_. I am also on Twitter. Y'all want to have that conversation, hit me at Rep B McGee. And of course on Spotify. As always, I love you. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. And until next time, peace.
All right, peace.